Guess what today is?
Hump day.
Happy International Stress Awareness Day.
Stress Awareness Day.
Stressing out.
I'm so stressed out.
Stressed out.
What I'm hearing is you're stressed out.
Nothing stresses me out.
I'm more than stressed out. I'm freaked out.
This morning show will stress you out for sure.
You're stressing everyone out.
I really think it's time for us to do something.
It's showtime!
Yeah, it's John Jay and Rich. Wednesday, November 6th, 2024. Our phone number is 877-937-1047. Text the show. Text JJR, whatever your message is, to 96893. Today's International Stress Awareness Day. Probably because of the election last night, right?
Yeah.
That's lots of sleepless hours for a lot of us.
Kyle, did you watch any of it? Because I know how you were like, I'm going to bed. I'm not going to watch anything.
I was actively trying to avoid anything that had to do with the election pretty much all day. Like, I was like finding chores to do. I was finding things to do just so I didn't have to like deal with the stress of it. Like, especially like 3 in the afternoon. Like, what are we going to know at 3 in the afternoon? Like, I can't like deal with stress. So yeah, I pretty much avoided it. There was one moment like at dinner time where it's like my husband can't help himself. He's like all like into the news and stuff. And so he had it on his laptop. And so him and the kids were watching it. And I was like, watching Paw Patrol. Like, you know what? I'm just going to watch Paw Patrol so that I could go to bed peacefully. And then I woke up and heard the news.
That's when you found out? You woke up today and found out that Trump was
president?
president?
I woke up and I avoided looking at my text messages or phone or anything like that. I just wanted to get ready in peace. And then Scott, who normally isn't like ever awake while I'm getting ready, he comes in and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this is odd. And he's like, I couldn't sleep. I had to know like what the results were. And so he's the one that told me this morning.
Yeah, my wife came to bed. I went to bed at 8:20 last night, and my wife came to bed at 12:30 in the morning, and obviously woke me up by the way she like violently got into bed. And I go, hey, who won? She's like, Trump won. I'm like, all right, good night. Peyton, what did you do to deal with the stress yesterday?
Well, I was super stressed out, and I was scrolling on Instagram, like, trying to get ready for today's show, looking up, like, celebrity news, and I literally couldn't find anything because it was flooded with all of the election stuff. And right around, like, 8:39, I just literally, like, got so mentally exhausted from looking at it all. I was like, okay, I'm going to get off, and I'm going to watch the new spinoff of Wizards of Waverly Place.
How was it?
So I watched Wizards Beyond Waverly Place. I watched 5 episodes. And it was really, really good. It's actually a really good show, and it totally pays like due diligence to the OG show. And I know I'm like kind of a Selena Gomez hater sometimes, but like that doesn't take away from the fact that like she was a big part of my childhood. So I enjoyed watching that over watching my Instagram feed.
The Wizards of Waverly Place spinoff, is it it's the same show? It's the new thing. It's the way like Fuller House. Yeah. It's like a continuation. Is it on Disney?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
And it's the Selena Gomez doing it? She's on it?
She's the executive producer on it, and she's in the first episode, and then I think she pops back up in like the second or third.
Yeah, they got to have her on it a little bit.
And they pay homage to her, like one of the popular girls at the school. They're like, oh yeah, she's so popular, even Selena Gomez follows her. And then they like, you know what I mean? Like they do like cute stuff like that. And then David Henry, who's her brother in the show, he's the main character. He's the star. He's the dad of the show, and he has a whole family.
When did you find out who became president? Who won?
This morning.
This morning.
Oh, really?
So you're like, I'm watching Wizards of Waverly Place, and I'm going to sleep.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was up all night. Yeah. Well, and it's not because of me. It's because my wife, Stacy, who told me, she's like, you can go to sleep or you can be a proud American and track what's happening in our country. So she had like her iPad and her phone, and she was running simulation maps and all kinds of stuff. So I said, I'm probably going to listen and go to sleep. But if you have a winner, will you just let me know? But I mean, she was talking back to the TV nonstop. She's talking back. She's like, okay, Kamala Harris has won Minnesota. Okay. Former President Bush has won, whatever.
Bush? How's he doing?
What news show is she watching?
Watching a VHS tape of the 2000
Oh, that's
election?
the other thing. She's like, she was going through all the elections and telling me who was where, so it was exhausting for me. So I've been up all night.
Yesterday, my son, Dutch, who's 18, got to vote for the first time. So him and I went to the voting place, right? And Dutch is a pretty cool kid, right? He's got a whole different attitude about him, right? So we go to the voting place. And I mean, and I remember when I voted for the first time, I was really nervous about how to do it. So him and I walk in, and we get voting booths right next to each other. And we have the sample ballot that we filled out beforehand. So we just copy the sample ballot. We walk in, and he looks at me, and he goes, hey, man, thank you so much for your support to me. I go, what are you talking about? Because I'm running for election. So we start filling out the form, and I don't know how everyone's ballots are. I don't know if everything's the same because of my neighborhood. Because first of all, there was no line. We went right in. There was
really?
There was nothing.
That's good.
And on the news, I guess you kept seeing our lines everywhere. So we go right in. There are 2 categories in our ballot that are about running for something in our neighborhood. Do you guys have that?
I didn't see that.
So it
In
was
your
literally-
actual neighborhood?
It's
No.
specific to the neighborhood we live in.
No.
Right? 2, and it was only one person running. So you had to write in the second name. So he wrote in Dutch Van Ness.
So he's got a chance.
Yeah, so he
Once the
wrote it in
counts are in.
twice. And so then he showed me, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to write it in too. So I wrote in Dutch Van Ness too. And I just thought, what are the chances if, because you see that story yesterday about that one county where there's only 6 people?
Yeah.
What are the chances if Dutch just won whatever that was?
That'd be wild.
And he spent 0 on campaign ads. Did you hear they spent like $17 billion on
Not Dutch.
campaigns?
Not
No,
Dutch.
Not Dutch. Just run it against another guy, and he's got a good chance.
Anyway, that was crazy. So anyway, we have a new president. I was telling Rich, I was like, so what happens if something happens to Trump before January? Does J.D. Vance also become president?
I don't know the rules on
I
that.
don't know the rules either. So,
I don't either. I assume so, but I have no idea.
I just don't know.
I know we learned it in history, how it goes up, and then the treasurer person goes up too. I don't know.
Kiefer Sutherland. What's that movie? What was that show? Where he was the last
24
guy?
Hours?
No, it was the other one.
Oh,
Executive
I remember
Orders or
Kyle was
something
in
like
that
that.
one. You
Remember
were in that
that?
show.
I was?
Yeah.
It's like everybody gets killed
So-
or everybody gets taken out by something, and so Kiefer Sutherland's the only guy left in.
Oh, but I think I only I
Yeah.
thought I only liked one episode of
You
that.
did, but you liked it a lot. You came
I
in and
did
talked
like
about
the
it.
episode.
But then when I went and
I
looked at
forgot
it,
about
it came out in 2016, so I was like, I'm not going to watch it. But I am into The Diplomat now. I am pretty far.
You
into it.
are?
Yeah.
I can't.
It's so weird because I never understood how that works. There's this lady and she's in England and she's the American ambassador for England and she pretty much is running the world. And I'm like, is that real? And how come we don't see ambassadors here? Do we have that here?
Yeah, we got a bunch of them.
Here? Right here?
I don't
In
think
this
there's a
city?
lot of hype around the ambassadors.
They get to live in a big old castle?
I have no idea.
Anyways,
There's no hype.
number 1 on Netflix. So anyway, Donald Trump won the election. In case you're coming to us for news.
Which
You
you're
didn't know.
probably not.
If you didn't know. Kyle, what's coming up with 3 things you need to know?
So, as we already said, former President Donald Trump has officially won the 2024 presidential election. Excuse me. Here's what's interesting. He will be only the second president ever to serve 2 inconsecutive terms. The only other one, fun fact, told to me by Richard Barra yesterday, was Grover Cleveland in 1892.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
So Kamala Harris did not speak last night, but is expected to make a statement today. Depending on how you're feeling today, dressing could help with how you're feeling. So apparently, the colors you wear can affect your mood drastically. So they say if you want to feel more relaxed and less anxious, green is what you should wear. They say wearing it is just one way to embrace dopamine dressing. I don't know if you planned this, Peyton, or not, but you are wearing green today.
I did not plan it, but it is my fave color. So.
Unintentionally, it's affecting your mood. It's making you more relaxed, a little less anxious. They also say that blue can have a calming influence as well. Blue just tends to be peaceful, so wearing it may also help you feel a little bit of peace.
You know what's funny is that I cold plunge every day, and sometimes when I cold plunge too long in the evening, I'll wear a T-shirt when I go to bed, but I won't wear a T-shirt that's red because I feel red gives you
It does-
energy.
no, it does.
And
It
it'll screw up my
stimulates your
sleep.
brain.
Yeah, so I'll wear a white or a black T-shirt. What's
You're-
black? Does black do anything? Do you know?
That wasn't on the list, but darker shades usually have a positive impact. That's what they
Oh,
said.
good. I'm
darker
wearing a black
shades,
shirt
so.
now. I'm so positive.
Look at you go.
So there is a new term for an old dating trend, and it's called throning. Can anyone guess what throning
Okay,
is?
throning. So you're sitting on a throne, worshiping somebody?
Kind of, but no. You were kind of on the right track with sitting on the throne. Throning is dating someone mainly to enhance your reputation or boost one's ego.
Oh, I know a few of those.
I
know a couple girls like that.
I mean, you could say Travis Kelce is throning. You know what
you
I mean?
could.
If you don't
Sure.
buy their relationship.
But that could be just a byproduct of falling in love.
It could be
like
a
Travis
byproduct
Kelce.
as well.
But
But
you're talking
throning
about
is
people.
specifically you're dating someone to enhance your reputation. Like, I guess Travis Kelce didn't really have a bad reputation before, so maybe that's not a great
No, but I
example.
mean, we didn't know who he was really until
Yeah, but it's like, or to boost your ego. So like, maybe the people with a trophy wife or whatever, you're dating that person to boost your ego because you have this young, hot scrumpet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Scrumpet.
Yeah, a little scrumpet. I'm going to go with that.
I need to look that one up.
So if like you are like Peyton, like now you know someone like that. Now you've got the term to go along with it. It's throning.
Okay.
And that's 3 things you need to know.
All right, horoscope time. Peyton, what is the vibe today?
I'm going to tell you if you are the most stressed out zodiac sign of all the zodiac signs and how you can handle that.
Shara, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
What's your sign?
Sagittarius, baby.
Sagittarius, you guys are actually pretty far down on my list at number 11. Sagittarius, you guys avoid stress like the plague. Known for your adventurous, carefree attitude, you're a pro at sidestepping whatever makes you feel uncomfortable. So when something is truly bothering you, you'll often just distract yourself or find an escape route other than just sitting in it.
That is so true.
Good.
Have a great day, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Isaiah. What's your sign? Isaiah.
My sign is a Leo.
Ooh, just like me. Okay, Leos, we are right in the middle of the rankings here. We're at number 6. Leos, we are stressing out over our need to perform and impress. We are natural born leaders and we often feel like we have a lot to live up to. So stressing for a Leo comes from wanting to be seen as capable, unique, and memorable. And honestly, we might even feel like people are counting on them, which adds to the pressure.
I feel that.
Yeah, me too. I feel like we're pretty right in the middle. Like, we get stressed out some days. Other days, we're chill. Depends what kind of day you catch us
It's a
on.
good thing you're wearing green then.
I know. I'm zen today.
Have a great day, Isaiah.
Thank you.
So we went from Sheriff to Isaiah. Let's do Kyle's.
Okay. Kyle is my Libra, and Libra on the list for the most stressed out zodiac sign. You guys fall wherever. Right here, number 9.
I was like, I don't feel like we're super stressy.
You guys are number 9 on the list. Libra's main stress point is people pleasing. You guys don't like conflict, so you're always trying to balance everyone else's happiness, sometimes at your own expense. So Libra stress is manageable, but it's often low key, and it's lingering sometimes constantly from seeking external harmony. Just trying to keep the peace. You get stressed out.
Yeah. That
You don't
can
like it
be
when
stressful
people fight.
sometimes.
Yeah.
How about the riches?
Get along.
Riches for Pisces. Pisces, you're number 7 on the list, so kind of far down as well. Pisces, your imagination can be a double-edged sword. You guys are prone to overthinking and diving deep into hypothetical scenarios, which stress you out when nothing is wrong. You guys tend to feel things intensely and sometimes stress about the possibility of something going wrong, and that's where you mess up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's healthy, but when we're really stressed out, we just pretend it's happening to somebody else.
Right. Yeah,
Just use your imagination.
that's not good.
Oh, well, would want to be that guy.
How about Virgo, John J.S.?
Yeah, John J.S. Do you feel like you get stressed out a lot, John J.?
No.
Yeah, well, this says otherwise.
He stresses everybody else
number
out.
2 on the list.
Really?
Yeah. Virgo's perfectionism has them wound up and overthinking every little detail.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, and it can be
little things,
exhausting. Yeah, and then you guys can't help but worry about getting everything like just right. So the Virgo sign is always mentally multitasking, which adds to your daily stress. So for Virgo, loosening up the feelings is hard for you, but it would definitely help you out right now.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so if we didn't get to your sign there, I'll post it on our website, johnjandrich.com. A couple text messages. You just text JJR, whatever's on your mind, to 96813. Hi, everyone. My name is Floor, and I'm taking one of 2 board tests to get registered as a respiratory therapist on Thursday. I need all the good vibes. Can you throw me a prayer? There you go. Good luck. John J. and Rich, where is this week's video of Peyton's pyramid? What's your deal?
I didn't realize it was that.
No, it's a big deal.
We usually do it at the end of the week.
We do, but I try to space it out to every 2 weeks, so I'll get one up on Friday for you.
John J. and Rich, I can't wait till the voting is over today. I've saved all the phone numbers and text messages of all the political people pestering me, and I'm going to call, text all of them back starting tomorrow excessively to let them know that I voted.
I love that. That's so funny.
It's hilarious.
Oh, what's it? Let's see.
Hey, does that mean that we don't have to see political ads starting today
I hope so.
on TV? Oh, that's so nice.
I hope so as well.
Did you guys see the Calm commercial
No.
From like the Calm app, which I think the Calm app is like kind of like your white noise kind of background app. They bought a 30-second like commercial spot, and it's just 30 seconds of silence, and they're like, this is your piece for X, Y, and Z. I was like, that's really good. Whoever's on your marketing team needs a raise.
That's very smart.
Yeah.
All right, we're 4 days away from the biggest Love Pub Family Fest ever. It's this Saturday, Vertuccio Farms in Mesa, starting at 4 p.m. Food trucks, dog adoptions, and the band Shinedown, one of the biggest bands in the world, performing live for free. Go to Love Pup Foundation on Instagram for more details. It's time for Stacks and Hacks. I have stacks of information, and Rich has life hacks. For example, what's something you've seen a lot of, but you're still in awe of every time?
Ooh, a sunset.
Sunset
Yes,
is sunrises.
that's such a good one.
Sunrises and sunset are number 5 on the list.
How is that not number one?
Right, especially in Arizona sunset.
It was literally last night. I was out with my kids. I'm like, you guys, look at it. Just gets better every time you look at it.
Gorgeous.
The other night, I was having dinner with Kyle's husband, and we both went, look at that sunset.
Oh,
Yes, the moon
how
on there.
romantic.
And then we made love.
Oh my.
Okay, what about something like physical, like gymnastics? I've seen it a lot, but it still
cool.
wows me.
That's a good one.
Gymnastics?
Or ice skating or something like that. I
Like
could
the
never do.
Olympics, the Olympians.
Here's
Period.
the International Space Station passing overhead. I've never seen that. The Aurora Borealis, watching an airplane take off and looking out the window of a plane. The night sky, fall foliage, thunderstorms. Number one answer is Kyle's feet.
Yeah, right.
Mountains and also the ocean.
A lot of nature.
Yeah,
I actually do
and
that when I
the
take
ocean,
pictures of Kyle's feet later. I'll be looking at the pictures going, God dang, they're amazing. Yeah.
Just
Go
gross
look.
feet. They're
Go
just
to
gross feet.
Unfugged feet. They're not gross, Kyle. You take that back. In a last-minute poll for Election Day, 28% of Americans said they didn't even care who won. They just want the election over. I get that now. In a poll, 37% of people say they prefer holding hands with interlocked fingers.
Ugh.
I know.
No, that's too. It makes
do
your
not prefer
it makes
that.
your fingers sweaty right in the corner.
20% prefer cupped hands. 38% say they're fine with both, either one.
I think it depends. Like if you're like laying in bed and you're going to sleep, I think you can interlock fingers. But if you're walking down the street, you got a cup.
If I'm laying in bed, I don't want to be holding hands.
Oh, I do. It's
Oh
like
my
the best
God.
way to go to sleep.
Yeah, you got your side of the bed, I got my side of the bed.
No, because we stay on opposite sides, and I'm like, hold my hand, and then we'll fall asleep just like this.
Okay, but then when you fall asleep like that, then at some point, one of you's got to move, and when you do, you wake up the other person. That ruins your sleep.
Nah.
You got to focus on. You'll see pretty soon when you start focusing on sleep. So get this: a guy in Oregon was riding his bike, and an ambulance crashed into him. The ambulance then rushed him to the hospital, and then later they billed him for the ride.
Oh, come on.
So he's suing them.
That's lame.
I mean, first it was really convenient. Then it's a hassle.
A leadership expert says if you want to be respected at work, you got to remember to give other people your respect. Resist the temptation to gossip or be negative at work, and exude professionalism. If you're confident, transparent, and authentic, people will respect you. I get it, except for the gossip part. I love that stuff.
Kind of makes like the day kind of go by faster.
Yeah.
Millennial trends that are no longer cool, according to Gen Z. Monochrome furniture, skinny jeans, taking photos of your food, side parts as a hairstyle, and loving Disney as an adult.
I'm all of those.
Is that what
things.
you have, Kyle? You have a side part?
There's my side part.
And Nick-
I tried the middle part. My forehead's too big. It just doesn't work for me.
Skinny
I'm
jeans
sorry.
today.
Wait, okay, well, Nick and Kyle are millennials, and both of them, Nick is the adult Disney guy,
Oh, for
and
sure.
Kyle's got the side part. But Peyton, you're the Gen Zer, but you have skinny jeans?
I'm wearing skinny jeans. I feel like I was all of those things that you just said, but I also have a millennial sister, so I feel like I'm kind of on the cusp.
Yeah, and didn't we just read something the other day that skinny jeans were coming back?
Yeah, they are.
I need
They never left.
I need to know about where do skinny jeans really stand?
There's a house. You remember the movie Goonies?
Of course.
The House of Goonies. That's in Astoria. It's right over there in Kennet Beach. It's a very popular tourist attraction. But one of the neighbors would like it to end. And this guy goes off on people keep coming by to see the house, right? But so listen to what the guy says, and then you're going to hear a clip of people that are going to the house. So the owner bought the house 2 years ago for $1.65 million. He loves the movie. But what you hear is the owner pissed off, and then you can hear people that go to the house. So they both have a point.
Here's the statistic I will give you, and I think this is basically true in life. About 3% of the human race are assholes. The other 97% are well-meaning, well-intentioned, polite, all of the things that you want to see out of humanity. That 3% shouldn't wreck it for everybody else.
We came to get pictures of that house and film that house. You can't blame me for running up there. If you're going to buy that house, be prepared for that. Don't buy a house like that and expect no one to take pictures of it.
There are only 5 houses on the street. It's a private drive. No cars are allowed, so people walk up constantly. How would you feel about that? If you buy a house.
I mean, it's like if you bought the full house, it would be the same thing. He's kind of right. You should expect that that's what's going to happen. Sort of, if I were going to give them advice, I would just say, embrace it. Start charging people. Make some money off of it or something.
What do you got for life hacks, Rich?
All right, let's talk about being nervous on a first date. It happens, right? You want to be cool. You want to be yourself. You want to put your best foot forward, but people get freaked out. So here are the experts' hacks on how you get ready for your first date. I wouldn't have thought about this, but they say drink a lot of water and have a little snack before you go so you're not hangry on your date because that's going to change your entire personality. If you're starving by the time your date comes and you're dehydrated, and if you're super nervous, they say to blow on your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve is right between your index finger and your thumb. It literally will lower your heart rate if your heart starts racing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you can even, if you have an Apple Watch or some kind of watch, you can try this experiment. Blow on it and watch your heart rate go down to a normal level. In fact, you can do that whenever you're nervous about anything, not just a first date. That life hack and many more are up at johnjandrich.com.
Check out this text message. You can text us anytime. You text JJR, whatever's on your mind, to 96893. John J. Rich, good morning. Good morning, John J. Rich, Colin Payton. I'm very behind on the podcast, but I was just listening to it on my way home from work this morning. I was thinking about how I'm just ending my day after getting off at 3:30 in the morning while you guys are probably getting ready to start your morning. So I just wanted to wish you guys a good morning and a good night from Lexington, California.
Good night, Lexi. Good morning.
Thanks for listening. That's pretty cool. I love you. You can listen to the podcast anytime. You can also text us anytime. I think it's cool when you can listen to us on the iHeart app all over the country and call in. It's very, very, very cool. Okay, let's start off with Easton's story, and then we got to get into what Peyton was talking about.
Okay, so I picked Easton up from school yesterday, and I was talking to him, trying to find out about his day, hear what he did. And he's like, Mommy, we did an election thing. And at this point, I'm trying to avoid anything election. So I'm like, oh, what'd you do? Expecting him to be like, we talked about the presidential nominees and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, well, we actually had an election and we got to vote in class. And I was like, oh, cool. What did you vote on? And he said, well, we got to vote if Piggy or Cow Cow was going to be class president. And I was like, okay, this is an election I can get down with. Give me more details. Tell me about this election. He said, well, Cow Cow got 12 votes and Piggy only got 4 or 5 votes. So Cow Cow is now the class president. And I was like, all right, did you vote for Cow Cow? Were you happy about the election results? He said, yes. And so I was like, okay. And then I'm like, so what does it mean now? What does Cow Cow get to do as class
We don't know Cow Cow's agenda. First steps, day one, Cow Cow. What are we doing?
Right? He goes, well, now he gets to watch the fun that we have in the classroom. I was like, so poor Piggy just gets shoved in the corner or something.
Well, Cow Cow tastes better than Piggy.
Well, that's true.
Cow Cow got some ribeyes.
So Cow Cow is now the new class president in Easton's class. And then he was telling me that the other classes he said, oh, well, Mrs. E's class, she was they had Sharky versus and then a different animal. And I go, who won? He's like, I don't know, because I'm not in that class. I was like, well, that's logical.
Shark's gotta win. Why wouldn't a shark win? Shark beats everybody.
Right? Why wouldn't you vote for the shark? I don't know.
All right, Peyton, rejection therapy. She's like, oh, do you guys ever heard of rejection therapy? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, have you ever heard of Kyle or Rich?
No?
No, so it's on TikTok. I recently came across it. I guess it's been around for a couple years, but rejection therapy, it's just a social experiment that helps people overcome their fear of rejection. So basically what people are doing is they're going out into public spaces. And the one video that I saw specifically, it was a girl and she was getting on an airplane, and it was right before like the flight attendant gives the little spiel or whatever, and she records herself and she's like, hey everybody, I hope that you all have a safe flight. I'm really excited to be here with you, X, Y, and Z. And everybody is like just looking at her like she's crazy, but she's like overcoming this fear of rejection and putting herself out there to kind of embarrass herself in a way, but like she's not afraid of the fear of rejection anymore. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
But that's not a common thing to do on an airplane with a bunch of people.
No, it's not.
Like rejection would be asking someone you have a crush on out, and them saying no, and then you being happy about it. I would assume is the way the rejection therapy works, right? Hey, would you like to go to dinner with me? You know what? You're really not my type. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is great.
It's off my mind now.
I'd be like, by the way, this is rejection therapy, so I knew you were going to say no. I was just trying to.
I guess it's just a way to like desensitize the negative emotions that come with rejection. And another one that I saw, it was this girl in the middle of Times Square, and she rolled out a yoga mat and she just was sitting there meditating, just in the middle of Times Square.
Dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous.
It sounds like it's more.
There.
It doesn't sound like it's therapy. It sounds like you're doing
putting yourself out there.
You're doing like a random dare, truth or dare.
No, it makes sense to me because you know how they say like if you've got like a fear of snakes, like being around snakes more, learning more about snakes can actually help you with that fear, help you overcome it. So I get it. Like if the girl who meditated in Times Square is like always been afraid to like meditate around people because she feel like they would look down on her or reject her because of it, like doing that in that moment and going, oh, it actually wasn't as bad as I had built it up to be.
Right, or something like that. Or like if you're like at the grocery store and you can't reach to the top shelf of the grocery store and you ask the neighbor or the person next to you, hey, can you grab this for me? Like that's like another form of it too. So it's like small things that you implement into your daily life that you may get rejected for that desensitizes you to the feeling of rejection.
Like asking a question in a meeting.
Yes. No, exactly like that. Exactly like that.
I just wait. I remember my wife's talking to my kids and you know, two of them are in college, and they talk about talking to the professor after class. There's no freaking way I ever talk to a professor ever.
What? Really?
There's no way.
I'm like friends with some of my professors on Facebook.
There's no way I did that in school. I was like, no thanks. I'll just take a 0. I'm not asking any questions. Man, I can't imagine that. So,
yeah, so
anyway.
it sounds like you need rejection therapy.
Like, for you would need to go ask questions.
So it's almost like if you're an introvert and you have to challenge yourself to do some extroverted things.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Kind of, yeah.
Which is, I mean, like what? Like what else? What else is there?
Well, I mean, for you, it would be like, let's say you went to a dinner with a lot of people and led the conversation.
The last time that somebody invited me to a dinner, it was about 2 years ago, and they wouldn't tell me who was going. And then I found out it was like 7 people going, and I was so pissed.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Especially if you sit in the middle. You got to keep the conversation going both ways.
But you faced your fear.
Right. Or, John, it would be like you inviting somebody to go do something.
Oh,
yeah.
For
no.
him,
Not gonna do it.
No, you need it.
For him, he puts together the dinner.
Yeah, like you need to organize the group of friends.
There's no
Oh my
way
gosh,
I'd have
this is
it.
it. You've been talking about wanting to have a party. Remember, you have this thing you want a party and you know who you would invite?
We had a party at my house.
That was like 10 years ago.
You guys were all there. Except for Peyton.
I wasn't there. Run it back.
Run it back.
I'm not doing
You do
that
like
again.
the modern day version of it.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a great party.
It was a great party.
You hid in the room like the whole time.
I know. Katie, good morning. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just calling in because you guys were talking about rejection therapy, and that is pretty much just a form of exposure therapy. So I specialize in anxiety and OCD and do exposure therapy all the time with clients.
So what does that mean? What is exposure therapy?
Well, so like if you have a fear, you expose yourself to the fear in different forms. So there's in vivo, which is real life fear, and then there's like doing scripts where you write out your fears and then you reread it over and over. Anything that's going to simulate the fear, the feelings that come up with that fear.
So, Katie, if like I'm scared of heights, you would tell me to go skydiving.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's definitely an option.
Right.
But like, so I worked with people that are terrified of flying, right? So we'll start with, videos maybe on YouTube, and then you can work your way up depending on the need of the client. But like, there's actually, I think at Phoenix Sky Harbor, there is a flight simulator for people that are scared of flying. So one of the first steps might be go sitting at the airport and watching airplanes take off. And then the next step could be going on this flight simulator. So it can be a gradual process.
I'm terrified of breasts.
No, you're not.
I always know how to turn the combo.
Grant just walked in. Yeah, Grant.
Hey, this show actually cured my fear of flying.
It did?
Yeah. Well, remember we took a trip together to Flagstaff?
Oh, yeah.
That flight was the single scariest flight. And I remember at one point we hit an air pocket and John Jay flew up out of his seat and hit the ceiling. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Yeah, and then we
knocked you out.
And then when we landed, we all decided we looked up how much it would be to rent a car and drive home, even though we were all booked. But I've never been afraid of flying after that. So I think this exposure thing is viable.
There's something to it.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of research. It's a research-based, like evidence-based therapy.
I think so.
It's been around for a long time.
I used to be terrified of snakes, and we had a friend that worked for the zoo, and I met them for lunch. And they had a python that they had just brought to a TV station, and I held the python. I'm like, oh, these are like nice, sweet animals. I'm not afraid of snakes anymore. I would hold a snake right now.
Okay, Katie, do you believe in rejection therapy?
I think if it can be done like correctly with a therapist, with that support, and I could see it working.
Where do you get a ferret list?
This is the first. Sorry,
John Jay misheard you when you said therapist. He thought it was ferret list.
You need a list of ferrets, and you'll be fine.
Oh my goodness.
Katie, thank you for calling in. Thank you so much for listening.
Yep, thanks.
Have a great day. I'll tell you something happened yesterday. So I think I told you guys a story. Sometimes, when we talk on the air and off the air, and I don't remember what was on the air, what was off the air, but I was telling you guys, did I tell you guys a story about how I got my wife a tea? And
yeah,
you
didn't ask for it. You stopped into AJ's because she loves that tea.
Yeah, so normally I will go get a tea and I'll get her some flowers too, right? She likes that. So the other day we went to a couple of charity events on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And one of the events, the second event, Saturday, you know how when you go to a big event and there's all these tables and they have that centerpiece, there's flowers and people bid on them. Mm-hmm. I guess there was an extra setting of flowers, and they brought them over to my wife and they said, we'd like for you to have these. And she just was like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. To me, flowers are flowers. Like I would never go buy flowers, So she took the flowers and she put them home on our table, and she keeps bringing up, don't these flowers look pretty? Right? So I'm like, yeah, all right. So when I went the other day to AJ's to get her a tea, I didn't get her flowers. So yesterday, she brought up the flowers on the table, how pretty they were. And I said, by the way, when I got you the tea the other day, I would have got you flowers, but you have flowers here already, so I didn't think we need extra flowers. She goes, oh, no, it's fine. These flowers are beautiful. And then I look, and there's these flowers that look like they were plucked from a backyard and put in a potted plant. They're simple, like if a kid did it. Mm-hmm. There's these flowers in this potted plant. I have a picture of it on our countertop. And I go, well, these are nice. Where'd these come from? That's when things went terribly wrong. Apparently, those flowers have been there for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
She's like, what do you mean? And I go, you mean, first of all, these aren't real flowers? And they've been there for 15 years. I'm like, no freaking way. She's like, yeah, I take a picture of them. I've never seen these flowers before.
How can you be so uninvolved in your daily life?
They're right there on my counter where I live and look at it every single day.
And she didn't move them. They've always been in that same spot.
As far as I know. I took a picture of it, I thought. Man. Oh, here. Look at these flowers.
Those are nice.
Yeah, they're nice. Had no idea they even.
I mean, they're pretty significant. I would think that you would notice those. I mean,
It's not a small arrangement.
That's a lot.
They had to have been moved or
something. You don't notice the decor
because they were on the main island, where I usually put all my stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. As OCD as you are, I would think that you would notice that because I notice when things move slightly to the left all the time.
I don't recognize a lot of stuff, but I will tell you this. I was prepared to play a game this morning because you know how we thought yesterday the election would happen and we wouldn't get answers, right?
Yeah.
It would take a long time. We all agree it would normally. We thought it was going to take a long time, but we have a clear winner, right? But I still like to play the game. You'll get it though.
It's Wednesday and John just got a game for you.
These are things that take a while.
Okay.
That's what I was ready for. Right? That's being very. That's working ahead.
Yep.
But we don't. I mean, we already know. But just in case, at the time of this game that I put it together, we didn't know who the president of the United States was going to be, and thought it would take days before we got answers.
Yep.
Okay, Peyton. These are things that take a while. This race is 26.2 miles. New York City had a big one this weekend.
A marathon.
Yes, a marathon. Kyle, you ferment grapes into this alcoholic drink.
Wine.
Yes. Things that take a while.
It's going to be a while.
Rich, to get really good in karate, you get one of these to say how good you are and to hold up your pants.
A belt. A black belt.
Black belt. All right, this is a hard one. Peyton, the exponential effect of interest on some principal amount.
Huh? Division.
Nope. Rich, do you know?
Interest.
Yes, close, yes. Kyle? Compound interest.
Oh, compound interest, sure.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get that one.
I still don't understand the question.
With a runtime, this is for you, Kyle. With a runtime of 161 minutes, that's 2 hours and 41 minutes, Harry Potter returns to Hogwarts for his second year, where he must uncover the mystery behind a series of petrifications and face the terrifying creature within the Chamber of Secrets.
You're looking for like the name of the movie?
Things that take a while.
Harry Potter, all the Harry Potter movies.
Harry Potter, Rich, what is it?
And the Chamber of
and
Secrets.
The Chamber of Secrets is the movie I was looking
but
for.
also, all the Harry Potter movies
But this
do
is
take a long time.
no, this is the longest one.
Okay.
Peyton, growing this type of facial hair that covers the whole face takes time.
Beard.
A beard.
Not
Rich,
for me.
The dual storyline that follows young Vito Corleone's rise to power and Michael Corleone's rule over the family.
The Godfather.
I'm sorry, need to be more specific.
The Godfather's parts 1 and 2.
No, I'm sorry. We're looking for just Godfather Part 2. It's 3 hours and 22 minutes.
Jeez.
Peyton, the ability to use knowledge, experience, understanding, and insight to make sound judgments and decisions.
Decision making?
Nope. Anyone?
Can you do that again, please?
The ability to use knowledge, experience, understanding, and insight. Yes?
Wisdom?
Wisdom, yes.
Takes time.
I needed to hear it again.
Kyle, a board game with all the property and the thimble.
Monopoly.
Yes, Rich. Reading this religious book will take time. It has a New Testament and an Old Testament.
The Bible.
Yes. Peyton, an iconic historical romance set during the Civil War and Reconstruction era. Frankly, my dear, you won't give a damn. This movie's 3 hours and 58 minutes long.
Oppenheimer?
No. Anyone?
Just Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. Kyle, 3 hours and 29 minutes Netflix crime drama that spans several decades dealing with the life of mob hitman Frank Sheeran.
What? Because I was going Mindhunter, but that's definitely not it. That was Serial Killers. Frank Sheeran. I have no idea.
Rich for the Steal?
I don't know what it is.
We talked about it a lot. The Irishman.
Oh.
It was that long-ass movie on Netflix.
I didn't see that one.
Peyton, it could take many years and a lot of growth for this to happen to a caterpillar.
Oh, it becomes a butterfly.
Yes. Kyle, climbing to the top of this mountain can take days and requires oxygen tanks because it's so high.
Mount Everest.
Yes. Rich, here you go. Training for this can take years, and it's an Olympic sport known for strength and coordination or uneven bars and rings. Simone Biles is good at it.
Gymnastics.
Yes. Peyton, it can take decades for this thing. It can take decades for the rings inside this organism to add up, revealing its age when you cut it open.
I'm interested in the other answer.
DNA?
No, looking for a tree.
Oh.
Kyle, this postage hobby requires patience and can involve filling entire albums. Sometimes some people have collected these things spanning entire decades.
Stamp collecting.
That's right, you
All
guys.
right.
Hey.
Yeah, and that's my game.
Wednesday, and Johnny's got a game for you.
Hi, Irene. What's up? You're on there. How can we help you?
Hi. Somebody left a little kitten in my front door, and I have a pit bull, and I called the Humane Society, and they want $50 to surrender the cat, but I don't have any money. Do you know where I can take this kitten?
I don't know.
I called the animal control, and they said that he was healthy, and they wouldn't take it.
I would try the AAWL, the Arizona Animal Welfare League. Maybe they'll take it.
Okay, where is that?
What's the street over? It's on McDowell and something. I don't know. Look them up. AAWL, Arizona Animal Welfare League.
AAWL.
Yeah.
Okay, is that a no-kill?
Yes.
Is that a no-kill shelter?
It's no kill, yes.
Poor little kitty.
Okay. All right. AAWL.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You got it. We get a lot of calls asking at Love Pup for us to take cats, and we don't take cats. The only cat that was ever rescued from Love Pup was Grant's cat, which is her name is awesome. Speaking of dogs and cats, Family Fest, Love Pup Family Fest is Saturday. Some entertainment news. What do we got on Selena Gomez? Selena's.
Selena Gomez had probably the best clapback at some body shamers. So she was at the premiere of her new movie, Amelia Perez, and some people had some things to say about her weight and the fact that she was holding her hand to her stomach, and they're like, oh, maybe she's pregnant. But like, she literally just told everyone she can't conceive. So number one, that's pretty insensitive, right? Mm-hmm. And also, like, I mean, just commenting on her weight, but her clapback was, no, I'm not a stick figure. I don't that's not my body type, and I'm happy. She's like, I actually have a condition. It's a medical condition called SIBO. I'm not a victim. I'm just human. And I'm like, oh, that's like, put them in their place immediately. And like, she shared earlier that she had lupus, and now this SIBO is it's called something intestinal bacteria overstimulation or something like that. But it makes her body not be able to process like carbs and certain things the way that maybe your body naturally should. And so she's like, yeah, so it's just unrealistic for people to think that women's weight isn't going to fluctuate and our bodies aren't going to change.
How about Kristen Cavallari? What's her story?
Kristen Cavallari has a podcast, and a few weeks ago on the podcast, she talked about how there's a couple of celebrities that she is convinced that they're clones. And one of those happened to be Britney Spears. Well, word got back to Britney Spears. Britney Spears, people reached out to Kristen's people. Somehow Britney got Kristen Cavallari's phone number and texted her.
Brittany sent me a text, and it was a bit of a roller coaster.
And it was like, no, that's Britney Spears. Nobody can fake that that's not, or it's the Britney Spears that's put out to us.
Or it's her clone. Her clone let me know that she's not a clone. That's a red flag. Only a clone would say something like that.
And she's still not convinced that that's Britney, right?
Nobody is. Look at her. They look totally different.
It's true.
Britney from 10 years ago looks nothing like Britney from today.
That's because of it's been 10 years.
And trauma will change your face.
No,
you don't think that's Britney Spears?
Your teeth don't change like that in 10 years.
Yes, they do. If you smoke. It happened to my mom. My mom's teeth got a big old gap on the side, and I said, why did that happen? She goes, because she smoked.
Well, does Britney Spears smoke cigarettes?
Britney Spears? Is that her? Is that Britney?
That's
Britney Spears the clone?
Did I say Britney Spears?
I hate when that happens in a discussion.
And then your whole argument falls apart in this room.
I mean, there's so many things about her other than just her teeth, just her face that look like a totally different person right now. So, I could go down the clone. No,
I think she's aged. I think she's abused her body.
And the trauma that you go through. I mean, you change physically.
No doubt she's been through a lot, and she's put herself through a lot, but that was a different person.
Okay, how about Ryan Reynolds? This drama with Ryan and Martha Stewart kind of keeps going, doesn't it?
It kind of does.
I feel like he's bothered by it.
He's so bothered by it because his first response was a great response, right? So Martha Stewart was in an interview, and she was talking about like the most fun celebrities she thinks that she would be able to hang out with, and they were like, Ryan Reynolds is on the list, and she's like, not really. He's really not that funny. He's actually a little too serious. And then Ryan Reynolds came back and was like, I would disagree with her, but like she's really fast and a sprightly old lady, right? And we're like, oh, haha, that's really funny. And now he's still talking about it. He's like, I really only met her twice. Like, I don't understand why she would say I'm not that funny.
No, it's inside his head now.
Yeah,
she's living
rent-free inside Ryan Reynolds' head.
I heard something. It was a clip of her talking about it, and she was like, well, he wears a mask in his movie so he can try to be funny, but it's almost like she doesn't get the humor in the movie. It's weird.
Like, it's not her kind of comedy.
Maybe.
Maybe not. But she did say I guess they're neighbors. She was like, afterwards, she's like, he's my neighbor. This is going to get me in trouble. So I'm wondering if like how much would it bother Ryan Reynolds? Like, if they are neighbors, is he the kind of person that would like go over and like bring Martha Stewart like a peace offering and then try to make a funny joke?
No, so he'd go over there and like try to do some stand-up comedy. Go over there. Look, I'm a mime. I'm a mime.
A mime.
Try to make her laugh. What about Ariana Grande?
Ariana Grande has heard that some people don't like the fact that she was cast as Glinda the Good Witch in Wicked. And I love her response because she's kind of understanding.
It's been a great secret. They didn't get to see any auditions or know anything. So going off of side to side, I probably would have said the same thing. I probably would have said, why the Kill me. I've waited 20 years for this. Kill me. I would have said that as a fan from the outside, knowing of only 7 rings. Probably, I'd say, well, that's so. You know, I get it, but I think that initially in the beginning, I was like, okay, I'm going to try to turn that off and just do the work, keep my blinders on, and focus and train and do the best I can.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yeah, because it's like when you look at it, it's like that's Ariana Grande, and it's kind of hard to differentiate. But like, she's a theater kid, like, so I think there's nobody better for this role. But I thought it was kind of interesting. Like, did you guys see how they put Cynthia Erivo as the lead actress category for the Oscars? And Ariana Grande is the supporting actress and not as a lead actress.
Oh,
well,
that's
maybe she is. I mean, we haven't seen the movie yet.
I know,
it's like maybe she is. She probably is a supporting character.
Right. And
It
that's
is about Elphaba.
Well,
It's
that's what I'm
about-
saying. And
the book
everyone's
is-
like, both of them are main characters, but like the story is about Elphaba.
Right.
So
I mean, that
think it's
probably was
pretty
a hard
fitting.
choice for them, but they were like, I mean, that's what the story's about.
Yeah.
I think when you see, like, knowing that it's a musical the way it is and that they were singing live on set, I think it's like, wow, an obvious choice with Ariana Grande just because of her talent.
I know.
What award
she
show are
can
they talking
sing.
about? What are you talking
The
about?
Oscars?
Oh, it's for the Oscars they're talking about?
Yeah.
They're getting Oscar buzz
Oscar
already.
buzz.
Well, then
Already,
they don't
yeah.
want them in the same category because then only one of them would win.
Well, yeah, but I think that the backlash is because when Idina Menzel won Best like lead actress or whatever, Kristen Chenoweth was also in the lead actress category. And
in the Tonys?
Yeah, in the Tonys, yeah.
And?
And Idina Menzel won, and everyone felt like Kristen Chenoweth should have won.
Right, so they put them in different categories,
Exactly.
and then you can have 2
Right.
Golden Globe
Two
winners or
winners.
Oscars
Right,
winners.
right.
What about the movie about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
Okay, so there's a Hallmark movie coming to our screens very soon that is literally about, or based on, I should say, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's romance. And I have to say, it's called Christmas in the Spotlight. I feel like I really want to see it.
I'm Drew. You're a big fan.
Am I supposed to know who he is? He's the best receiver in the world.
Get his number.
It's her! It's her!
I want to see you again.
You're in a movie.
Like regular people.
Like regular people, huh?
Don't screw this up.
I promise not to fall in love with you.
And I promise not to fall in love with you. The more I'm with you, the more I really like you.
I'm just with you for your fantastic body.
It's funny because in that trailer, like, that guy really sounds like Travis Kelce.
I was like, is that Travis Kelce?
It doesn't sound like her, but it sounds like him for sure.
I know. Well, and obviously they play like different names, but the girl is a pop star and he's a football player. It's
All in.
literally like
All
their
in. That
romance.
sounds great.
I know, it looks so cute.
All right, Nick is the host of this game. Hello, Nick.
Hi, guys. We're playing Noise Machine today. Are we excited?
Yeah.
So it's National Stress Awareness Day, right? Mm-hmm. So I like to theme my games, and today's noises are all things that either stress people out or specifically stress me out.
Oh, good.
Okay, so I'm going to play a noise, and you guys have to guess what said noise is. Is that easy enough?
Sounds good.
I'm very excited, guys. I'm so excited. We're going to start with John Jay.
Traffic?
We were looking for traffic.
For shizzle.
Way to go, John Jay. 1 point on the board, starting out the game so strong. Rick.
This is running out of your battery on your AirPods. That's the sound mine makes.
That's good.
I mean, it's good. I was looking for iPhone, but AirPods would be the same. You know what? I'll give it to you.
right.
iPhone does that?
Yeah, when you get to 20% and then 10%.
I always have the volume down, so I've never heard that before, but I always run. My battery always dies.
For
That's a
shizzle.
good guess, Barra.
Well done, Peyton.
Welcome to Subway. What can I make for you today?
What the heck? Is that AI? Subway AI?
I'm sorry, Peyton. We weren't looking for that. What we were looking for was when you're in line at Subway and there's a bunch of people behind you and you can't decide what you want to eat yet.
Don't be an idiot.
It's so stressful.
Your line
Dude,
stress.
that doesn't even
You
make
don't
any
wanna-
sense.
Makes
You're
ton of
getting a
sense.
little
Stressful.
out of hand with the ridiculousness
It's-
on these questions.
Oh, I'm sorry that you didn't even try.
I did try. I gave you an answer. Me
0
not trying
points.
would be not answering
0
your
points.
question.
0 points.
I'm done with you.
I'm almost to the point where I'm eliminating you from these games.
Please, actually, matter of fact, I will volunteer myself.
Kyle,
I no longer want to play your game.
Enough! Kyle.
So annoying.
It sounds like a printer.
Okay. But what would stress you out about a printer?
If it's out of ink.
Let's go with that. Yeah, if you're like your printer's broken and it doesn't print correctly, that's so stressful, guys. Isn't it?
Yeah.
You guys get stressed out by that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get stressed out by you.
Am I
Looking
the
at
only
you stresses me out.
Am I the only one?
No, printers are all garbage. All of them are.
Okay.
That sounds like Rich's printer from 2003 that you got sitting back there.
Yeah, it's definitely Rich's printer.
It's a dot matrix.
So, Starla, do you understand the point of this game?
I got it.
All right. Good luck.
Hold music.
Okay. I mean,
Don't be an idiot.
That's a good guess.
Being,
Go ahead. You can try again, I guess.
I was just going to say, like, being on hold on a phone call for too long.
Yeah. I mean, that would be stressful. That's not what we were looking for. Some people get stressed about getting older, you guys. It's happening.
Oh, I thought it was the stress of singing happy birthday to somebody. I hate that.
Sung to you. It's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, there's many different levels with that song and what stresses you
I
out.
don't know what to do with my hand. So that was a really fun first round, guys.
Whenever we do happy birthday to people, by the way, my new thing now is if I have to do it and everyone's singing, I just lip sync. I just don't, 'cause no one can hear my voice.
It's really fun if it's just you and Blake. Okay, so after one round, John J, Rich, and Kyle all on the board. John J, does this stress you out?
Is that a doorbell and someone at my door?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Someone at the door. John J, commanding lead, 2 points. Rich!
Hey, Mr. Scott, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Make our dreams come true. Hey, Mr. Scott, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Make our dreams come true.
When you're walking down the hall and people are clapping you in.
Okay, that's a good guess. That's a really good guess. I was looking for something a little more specific.
Drew Barrymore's thing?
No, we were looking for the episode of The Office called Scott's Tots.
That episode stresses you out?
It stresses me
Why?
out so bad.
Why?
Because he promises first graders when they get to be seniors, he's going to pay for all their colleges.
Uh-huh.
And then when they're going to college, he doesn't have any money. And so he just...
Oh, it fast forwards you to that?
Yeah, so then he has to, like, confront these people who have been, like, relying on this man.
That's so funny.
So
I've
anyway.
never seen that episode.
So sorry, Rich. No points there.
Don't be an idiot.
I think we have a special guest for this next one. Peyton, it's your turn. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Yeah, you're such a great audience. What do you think is a kangaroo's favorite thing about beer? The hops.
Is the answer Nick Johnson?
Okay.
Because you genuinely stressed me out.
I stressed you out?
And that
Okay.
was you making a ridiculous joke.
It's funny because it got the reaction in the room I wanted. It's when a joke doesn't land. Like when a joke bombs and everybody's just silent.
Yeah.
So that's stressful.
Yeah, and that was you, right?
No, I don't know who that was.
That wasn't you?
I pulled that from the internet.
That literally sounded like you.
Okay, no points for Peyton in this game. What a
Whatever,
surprise.
bro.
Kyle.
Oh, it's your email inbox just getting flooded.
Yep,
so many
sure
emails.
is. Sure is. Good job, Kyle.
That doesn't
2
stress me
points.
out.
I was kind of thinking like when you're expecting, like when you respond to an email from your boss and the one comes like
Right
it comes back and you're
I
just
have
like
99,685 unanswered emails.
Like, how do you even have storage on your phone with
It's
that?
incredible.
John Jay gets a bonus point for that. Starla, you could win the game, but you got to get this right first.
All right, let me try.
You can guess anytime, Starla.
I would say trying to call somebody and nobody answers.
Yep, literally calling any person.
Yep.
You just call somebody. That's so
Good job,
stressful.
Starla.
Starla, way to
That is
go.
one of my biggest stressors, always.
So
That's
proud of
good.
you.
All right, hold on the line. We'll set you up with that $50 to rallies or checkers. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you.
It's a very clever game, Nick. What stresses you? Just go around the room. What stresses you out? It could have been a sound effect.
Could have been a sound of
Nick's
you-
voice.
Nick's voice stresses you out? Peyton's going through something, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not feeling
You can
very
hear about
well
it in the
over here.
podcast.
Do we need to get you some snacks?
I actually am really hungry. I have a really bad headache, and I just want to crawl into
Do we
a
need
ball.
to DoorDash you?
There are no, if you listen to our afterwards podcast, which we're going to post up pretty soon if it's not posted already, she's like, there are no feminine products in this building right now. Right? Do you have any?
Yeah, well, I mean, I have stuff she
Nick
can
was the
try to
first
use.
person I asked.
Were you really?
There's
No.
something that Nick
Jenna
does.
doesn't have one either?
Jenna came to save the day,
Oh,
actually.
so
She
okay.
came through. Yeah.
All right, on.
Wait,
I'm all right,
so
but I
you
still
went-
don't feel well.
You went all the way around looking, and then you asked Jenna?
No, I asked
She
Jenna,
sits
and
3
Jenna.
feet from you.
No, I asked Jenna first, and then I asked Kyle, and then I made a lap around the building, and then when I had to make my own makeshift things, Jenna said, "I got you," and she found some for me.
You had to makeshift it?
You can makeshift it.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
a
know
thing. I mean, you got to figure it out when you're in that
Yeah,
position.
exactly, and I was in a lose-lose situation.
Wow.
I'm so sorry, Peyton.
All right.
I'm so sorry for
I'm
all of
ready
us
to
men.
go home.